Another exciting day, another exciting moment as I look forward to bring you informative, action-packed sporting discussions with various personalities within the sporting world. Once again, welcome to Biggie on Sport. My name is Chris, aka Biggie on Sport, as we'll be looking at today's sporting code known as tennis. Not so popular within South Africans, I would say, more popular in Europe, in the US, etc., etc. But it is gradually coming up, making inroads, and we're gonna be sharing more on that with my guests in this particular episode. Robin Baloyi is not the first visitor to this platform. He's been with us before, and alongside him, accompanied by a young tennis aspirant lady. I would say that, in fact, I guess this is the future Coco Gauff of South Africa. I'm talking here about Baloyi Molao. Both of you, welcome to Be on Sport.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you so much. First and foremost, let me start with you, Robin. Give us a brief background. Who is Robin? To somebody who doesn't know who Robin is. Apparently, you are a former tennis player as well.
Yes, I spent my youth on the tennis court. I grew up on the tennis court. But around about the age of 16, 17, I left for university. And after my studies and starting my working life and all of that, I went back to tennis. So mostly it was administrative, then started playing again. And as you have already indicated, former administrator, former president of Gauteng, former board member of TSA. But in the process, I also picked up, excuse me, an area where I can contribute largely, and that is developing youngsters. So the young lady is sitting on my right here. I got to know her through her mother, and she so much liked my approach in the sport, my knowledge in the sport, and we kind of gelled from there on. And I'm very happy with the progress she's made under my tutelage. Yeah.
I am Moroccan.
Yes, no. Tell us about yourself. That's what I mean.
Yes. Really, tennis has been part of our family.
Okay.
From my siblings playing tennis, and I would have like a mini racket since 2.
Okay.
But I started playing tennis at the age of 7.
Wow.
Till now, and it's been a very good journey of playing tennis, getting the experience of matches and all this stuff, and traveling the world is very good.
Yes. Let's go back, in fact, to family structure. How many siblings you have, and then where were you born and stuff like that, and how was the background in the family?
Yes, I have 2 older siblings.
Okay.
And I was born in Pretoria first, but I live in Limpopo currently. And my siblings, I have one sibling who's a coach currently, and my other sibling who went to the US for tennis and to study in college and all those stuff. Yes.
The reason why we want to tap into the background, we want to inspire other would-be sport-loving people out there to actually realize that it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter the circumstances and stuff like that. But if you are in it, you can achieve it. You get the drift. Yeah.
Yes.
Very interesting. So you said one of your siblings went to the US and played tennis. At what level did they play tennis?
I'm not really sure what level.
Okay.
But I know she went to college to do tennis and study, and she got a master's degree and those stuff. Yes.
And what drawn you, or what inspired you to actually take tennis as a sport or venture into tennis?
What inspired me was like watching all those pros in tennis playing, and how much work they have put in to make it that far. And I'm like, one day I want that person to be me.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll come back to you. Robin, as former president Gauteng Tennis, obviously you have since left the position, obviously, but we cannot get into that. you have now actually ventured to do something else differently. Tell us about that.
Yeah, look, having been within the tennis structures, you kind of pick up where the weaknesses of the structures are. And you also start understanding where the struggles are, you know, with young players like Morokane, is to tapping into high quality programs, high quality coaching. I remember I did a study, I think about 2 years ago, whereby I looked at how young black tennis players progress. And you'll be fascinated to learn that at the under 10 age group, the girls in the top 10 in the country, the girls actually dominated that space. Black kids were 60%. When they go to the under 12, black girls were about 40%. By the time you get to under 16, under 18, black girls that were in the top 10 in the country were like 5 to 10%. So you can see how they fall behind because of lack of programming support. You understand? So that for me was a key insight in ensuring that young black aspiring tennis players like Morokane get that program support. So it's high quality coaching, it's high quality programming, it's planned tournament structures, good diet regime. Things like those, you find that they're lacking in the structures, in their training programs, and you can see how they're falling behind. So I decided to venture into that when I was approached by a mom and 2 other parents that have asked me to get involved in their young children's tennis lives. So I decided maybe this is where I can make a difference. If I can push one child to end up playing in Europe and traveling, which is Moroccan is very, very close to that, and I'm very will share later on with the results that she's achieved in recent times. I feel I would have achieved something in tennis, compared to me sitting in an administrative structure, sort of working and fighting the system. If I can be involved in a young life like that and make an impact, I feel I would have achieved something.
Yeah, I think it was on purpose that you started off as an administrator so that you can realize the other, in fact, abilities that you have within the sport itself. You touched base on a very poignant point when you say that development and that is growth on the grassroots level is quite important, and that's where you realize that you've got the potential, you've got the ability in as far as nurturing young talent in South Africa. And this is a clear call that we always or constantly make on this particular platform in saying that that is sport development and activation is very important for any sporting code in South Africa. But it comes with challenges, obviously. We know that there are 3 popular sporting codes in South Africa, which is football, number 1, rugby, followed by cricket, obviously, and the 3 are superseding other sporting codes, such as tennis, netball, etc., etc. And that on its own, it renders a lot of challenge in terms of resources, infrastructure, facilities, etc., etc.
Yeah, look, I think you raise a point that has been debated quite extensively in the last 2 to 3 years. While in the position of president in the Gauteng Tennis Association structure, we picked up that there is a lot of neglect on facilities, particularly tennis facilities in this case. And what the government was also trying to do from a Department of Sports, Arts and Culture perspective, they were trying to revive some of these facilities, but they were making them multi-purpose facilities. So you'll find a tennis court that usually used to be a tennis court. It's now a tennis court, basketball, netball court. It's got all lines painted different for different sporting codes, which is what we've experienced with Ellis Park. Now, what that tends to do is that when we host what we call sanctioned tournaments, these are officially tournaments that will be recognized as high level, as meeting the required standards of, for example, the ITF. We can't have those tournaments played on a multi-purpose court, on a court that's multi-marked. It has to be strictly a tennis court. So what that does is that it actually takes away the ability of the venue to host such kind of tournament, like Ellis Park. We had 8 courts at Ellis Park painted, and they wanted to paint 2 more. So now we can't host sanctioned tournaments there. We have to find other venues, and there aren't many. Then we have to go to private clubs, and we go to private clubs because they've got members, they've got this. They're not too happy, they lose revenue, so you have to pay. So it becomes a whole new challenge by itself. So in terms of facilities that you've touched on, the resource for facilities is an ongoing war. It's an ongoing discussion with government, where we're looking for government to come in, and especially with the larger venues. You know, they don't have to do every venue around every street.
Exactly.
But with the larger venues to really pour some resources, some investment into that, so that we can be able to host more events. We'd like it to have partners like Tuks, University of Pretoria, who have I think 18 courts. We are now having some of the ITF junior tournaments happening there, and some of the futures tournament, ITF futures, happening there as well. So we'd like it to have those kind of venues, but these are privately owned venues. So the issue of resources is an ongoing topic.
It raises serious concern if Gauteng would actually encounter, if not experience, such challenges to have the sport itself as tennis to flourish. And then you wonder, a young kid who's sitting in the rural areas and who would like to play tennis, where else, in fact, she cannot actually show her potential or his potential and talent because of lack of access to facilities and stuff like that. It's a serious problem. What is the mother body of tennis saying in South Africa in as far as such problems or challenges are concerned?
Yeah, it's a quite challenging. I think from where I sit, it's quite it's a challenging question, because then who takes ownership of availing facilities?
Okay.
Is it the mother body, or is it the government? Because infrastructure development falls under the ambit of the government.
Yes.
They are the ones who need to facilitate and sports and recreation and parks. They do all of that. They do all of the planning. They do all of the building of the tennis facilities, the soccer fields, the clinics, and all of that. So the infrastructure is actually in the hands of the government. But then also, I believe that facilitating very deep and involved conversations is required from the federation side to drive its activity, so that government is aware where these facilities and resources are needed. I believe there is a role that the federation, the mother body, could play to influence that. Yeah.
You have recently traveled the continent with your coach, your mentor. Share with the viewers as to what was the experience and what was the purpose of your travel to countries like Nairobi, Tunisia, etc., etc. Tell us more of that.
Yes, when we traveled to Tunisia, the experience was not bad, actually.
Okay.
I mean, I got to experience to play other players from like outside the continent instead of playing like same people from SA. So playing those players, there was good experience. Like I could see the different levels of the other players, and like it helped me also improve my game, knowing that one player plays this well. So like I can find out what improvements I can make with my tennis.
And participating in the African Junior Championship, how was it?
Yes, when I participated in that for the first time, that was the first time I got to play against like other people from Tunisia, Cameroon, and all those other continents. And the exposure was actually very good. And when I got to play there, the experience was not bad.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Have you played only in singles or also in doubles? And what are your strengths in terms of singles and doubles, and your weaknesses as well?
Yes, I got to play both singles and doubles in Kenya. The strengths for doubles, I got to like improve my volleys a lot. My volleys have improved so much. So that's what I can say my strength is in for doubles. And for the singles, my strengths will probably be like my mental was getting there, was like I was still improving like my mind on how to on court, like how to cope with like pressure and all those type of situations. But then like I'll say my strength was probably my strokes. Yes.
I like it when you come to this platform at this stage because I can see the future beyond you. Your story, actually, it's quite inspirational. It is so, in fact, it resonates to the likes of Serena and her sister Williams on how their father started training them tennis. And I guess that's what Robin is basically doing. And I know that, you'll go long places. Who are the players internationally, if not locally, are you looking up to as an inspiration? There's a new kid on the block called Coco Gauff, who did wonders in June the 7th, winning the French Open for the very first time. But I don't want to push you to that. Perhaps you do have other people that you look up to.
No, it's been Coco because I loved how she started so young and she was able to build up her tennis game and start winning all the slams and all of that. Yes.
And what is your training like? How often do you train? And the same question I'm going to ask it to Robin, because we always make emphasis on extramural activities to be balanced with academia, because from time to time, talented young people, they tend to focus more on talent, on sport only, and overlook academia. So how do you balance the two?
Well, first of all, like how I balance them is like I go to training in the morning.
Okay.
And every time I come back, I always do school. And also when I travel on the road to tournaments, I use that extra time to do schoolwork, or when I'm at a tournament, I'd be doing schoolwork and to push all of that. Yes.
Same question, Robin. In fact, we find that talented young people, they struggle a lot to have a balance in as far as sport as well as academia is concerned.
So answering your question comes back to what I alluded to earlier on in terms of young people like Morokani here, not finding structured programs to support them. It has to be through a structured program. So for example, her program is, we have intense blocks where she will train for up to 5 hours a day. She'll go for a fitness session in the morning, first thing. Then we go for about an hour, two and a half hours of technical training. Then she goes on a break. That break could be about 4 to 5 hours. And that's when she will do mostly her schoolwork, catch up with the schoolwork, check on any, so she's online learning. If you aspiring to be a professional tennis player, the training program that you're going to have to adopt doesn't allow you to be in a normal schooling environment.
Wow. Okay.
It just hardly works. The amount of training and the time that you have to invest in the tennis. Tennis is such a technical sport. It requires you to invest that kind of time in it, in the training regime. So she would train, so she would have a break for about 4 hours or so, come back in the afternoon, and we work for another hour and a half to 2 hours of technical training. So we do all technical work, like she said, the mind space, how to play on the court, how to carry yourself, how to finish certain points, how to approach certain games, game structures and things like that. That normally happens in the afternoon session. But all of that has to be structured, and these two structures have got to talk to each other. The educational component, she's on online schooling. So when we travel to tournament, she will have some of her material to make sure she catches up. And what the way we've structured the program is that she's turning 14 next month.
Okay, wow.
She's only turning 14 next month, but we've made sure that she's actually a year ahead in school.
Okay.
So that acceleration actually can give a year's break where we can say, okay, now we're only pushing tennis because she is a year ahead in school. So that also benefits her quite a lot. So that balance is very important to make sure that she gets the educational side while she's aspiring to be a full-time tennis professional. There is that balance.
We say what they want to say. In case you've just joined us, we are having a chat with coach, mentor of tennis, Robin Baloyi, accompanied here by a young girl who is a tennis player as well, Baloyi Molao. And we're chatting about tennis here, and hopefully it's going to be our Coco Gulf in South Africa. In football, they say they're running academies. It's an academy in football term. Are you running something like that? Your program similar to academy? And the follow-up question is that we used to have the likes of Joe Masolo back in the days, a man who was actually having an eye for talent, identification of talent. It looks like you do have an eye for talent in as far as tennis is concerned. Do you go out, source talent, or do you have players being recommended to you?
Yeah, I get approached a lot by parents.
Okay.
I guess it started with me coaching one of my sons.
Okay.
And when people watched him, they liked the brand of tennis that he played, the fluidity of his game and all that. So parents started approaching me to say, can you help my child? My child is struggling with this, is struggling with that. You seem to know what you're doing. We've been to 5, 6, some 10 coaches, but we're not getting the outcome that you're looking at. 2, 3 kids were brought to me within a week. Their game has changed, and the word goes around. So Murakami here, also through her mom, she approached me, said, can you help us? And I said, yes. She seems to have the right mind for the sport. She seems to be quite focused, and she's hungry, and she wants this. I'll be happy to work with her. So I took her on, and this is where we are today. But no, I'm not running an academy.
Okay.
I'm not there yet, and I don't think I'll get there yet.
Okay.
I don't think I'll get there. Parents, I ran a camp last year, and I was looking to have 4 kids, Murakami included. And after 2 days, I had like 13, 14 kids after 2 days. And I had to start pushing back, saying, no, it's too much. Because I want to have focus on the player. I'm happy to work with Murakami and maybe 1 or 2 other kids, and that's it. I'm not looking for a huge academy. I really want to give them value. So I'm looking for quality more than quantity. So that's my approach. That's my mantra. Another coach will say, no, I want 100 kids because I want to make so much money in a month, or I'm not chasing that.
Okay.
I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in helping a young lady like this get somewhere with their tennis. So that's my model. So it's not an academy model. It's a one-on-one, very individualistic model where I'm looking to help someone that needs my input and they can use it.
My question is imbued by the fact that a conversation of this nature could open floodgates, whereby you'll be kept inundated with calls. Parents also extending their requests to say, or Apala Tennis, Linda Wanaka has been inspired by Marokwan. Are you guys able to do something?
I'm getting that already. I've got calls from as far as Botswana, outside the country and so on. But yeah, it's I've never pictured myself as having an academy and an assistant coach and an administrator and this sort of things. So if I have a gap, I'll be able to take on a child and say, okay, I've sent Murakami on tour to Europe or wherever, and she can travel with another coach that can keep an eye on her, but I need to focus on this child that's here. That's me. I don't want to pass on because what the value they're looking at is the value in me. It's not the value in the academy or the brand. They're looking for the value in me. So I've got to give them that value. So yeah, it becomes a bit tricky, but it's a question of managing it. It's a question of where is my focus, and right now I think my focus is on this young lady here, and maybe 2 other players, and that's just about it. Yeah.
We need to produce such tennis players in South Africa. And Robin cannot be all over the 9 provinces. Do we have other Robins in making sure that they activate on the ground, they produce such? Because as I mentioned earlier on when we started, that tennis, it's not so popular, especially within black communities. But from the back of your mind, you do perhaps know of any other Robin out there who says, no, this sport cannot go extinct. We need to activate, we need to resuscitate, we need to be represented on the international stage or international arena. Do we have such people out there?
Yeah, look, I think there are ongoing conversations in terms of where we can take the sport within the black communities. But also, as we may have sort of touched on it earlier on, the question of resources always
comes into
it always rears its ugly head, you know. And you go to the townships, and these kids, the lowest level of a tennis tournament, if you want to play a TSA sanctioned tournament, as a junior, as a 6-7 year old, just to enter, pay an entry fee for that tournament costs 250 rand. These are some of the conversations that need to happen. That's why I said at the federation level, for them to recognize that the role they can play is much more than that of, you know, of just availing a platform and collecting fees. There's a much more bigger room for them to come in and play a bigger role. And I'm not slating anybody here. I'm just sharing my thinking that there has to be a different approach, especially when it comes to township, how we activate the sport in the townships. I'm only one Robin. I'm only one man. I cannot do the job of 1,000 people.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, it's look, we've got some people with some fire in the Eastern Cape, but I think they have reached out to me to say, look, we need guidance. We need to really start looking into this matter and get ourselves more organized, and I'm happy to assist whoever has that hunger out there. You know, we say we need input. Recently, they know I'm no longer serving in the administrative structures, but they still reach out to me. People who are in the Soweto structures of tennis, people in Mpumalanga structures of tennis, they still reach out to me to say, can you guide us here? What do you think we should do here? I'm available. So I'm happy to help wherever I can help.
It seems you're cooking something special for South Africans, yeah? If not for the world. I know she has touched on that. You've recently actually been in Africa, sometimes in August with other players. Just share with us as to what was the purpose and how you guys actually everything went about down there.
Yeah, I went on a tour of Tunisia with her where we played 2 tournaments, and it was a full 2-week tour, back-to-back tournaments. In the first week, in the singles, she got to the finals. She lost in the finals.
Wow.
It was much closer than the score suggests.
Wow.
Yeah, and then she also lost in the finals in singles. She lost in the finals in doubles. Even in doubles, it was a 3-setter, right? Was it 3-setter in doubles?
2.
2 sets in the first week.
The first week, yes.
Yeah, and then in the second week, she lost in the semifinals in the singles. She also lost in the semifinals in doubles. Yeah. And then we came back. We were here for what, 3-4 days, 5 days.
Yeah.
We rested only 1 day, and we're back in training after that. So that's the diligence that's required. So we came back, and by the second day, we were back on the court, working on things that we came back with from the tournament. And in about 4 days later, we're out of the country. We're in Zimbabwe for another 2-week tour. And there, she won the first week singles. She won the first week doubles. So she took both titles in the first week. In the second week, she won the singles, and she lost in the finals in the doubles.
Wow.
So yeah, just to give you a quick breakdown. When I started working with Murakami last year, December.
Yeah.
December, that was the first time we started working.
Yes.
Since then, she's traveled this journey. And I think last year, she was outside the top 50 in Africa. What was your ranking in Africa at the time?
Last year?
Yeah.
Last year I didn't have a ranking.
You didn't have a ranking.
Okay.
So she didn't even have a ranking.
Okay.
And we've worked through, when we started engaging again this year, she was in the mid-teens, I think 14, somewhere there. 14, 15, 13, 14, 15, somewhere there. And we've pushed now, she's ranked number 5 in Africa. And we're hoping that we can have some good results coming and we can push for a top 3 spot in Africa. So she's put in a lot of work. We've invested a lot of time and energy in her, and she's done very, very well. So we're very proud of what she's achieved.
Losing is not a good thing, obviously, for a young person like herself. In fact, how psychologically, how do you work on her mental fortitude and perhaps spur her on and maybe whisper those words of inspiration to say, no, it's another day, another game, let's look forward.
So losing, I always try and sort of guide her through, mostly through what happened in the match.
Okay.
What is it that we didn't do well? What is it that we feel didn't work today? You know, let's forget the result. Okay, the result is only the outcome. There are things that caused that outcome. So the things we didn't do well, the things we didn't follow through correctly, what are those things? And we take lessons from that. So every loss is an opportunity to learn. She knows that. That's my mantra. Every loss that we come across is an opportunity to learn. A win, you win, you celebrate, and you forget very quickly. That's how a win is. You forget. But a loss stings, stays with you for long. So a loss is an opportunity to learn. Even in life, your failures are an opportunity to learn. That's what I also tell her. I have failed in life. There's things that I've done that I've failed in life. I'm not afraid to say that.
One of us.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to say that on camera. I'm not afraid to say to her to her face. I told her that.
We made unpopular decisions.
Many times I tell her that.
To cost us later in life.
Exactly. I tell her that. I said, I failed in life. But those failures are lessons. It's an opportunity for me to learn. Oh, I went wrong here and I went wrong here. Next time, I won't do that. I will avoid that. I will make a better decision. So that's what I always preach to her for her mental fortitude. That take a loss, embrace it. Losses are not there for you to reject and feel bad. They're there for you to embrace and say, I can learn from this. You know, this is another volume, you know, in my collection of lessons, you know, and I can always have that as a reference. So that's how we take losses. Yeah.
Any future plans? Maybe are you guys perhaps participating in any other events in this coming few months?
We're leaving this coming Friday.
Oh, this coming Friday.
For Tunisia again.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got 2 weeks in Tunisia.
Okay.
2 weeks? 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks. 2.5 weeks, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 2.5 weeks in Tunisia. We're playing the AJCHC. This is the African Junior Championships. So this is the big one. Yeah. So everyone will be there. I think they take the top 20.
Yes.
Top 20 in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, qualified to play in that event. So it's the best of the best. And then after that, we have about 3 days break, which we will use for rest and training, recovery. Then we have the African Junior Masters. The African Junior Masters is only the top 8 in Africa. This is even much more competitive. It's like the cream of the crop. It's top 8, and she's qualified. And I'm very happy we managed to hit that goal. It was one of our goals. So they take number 1 to number 8 in Africa. She's qualified for that. And we'll see where the results lead to. We're still aiming for a top 3 position, which may open certain doors for us, like a tour of Europe, and a tournament in the States, like the Orange Bowl, which are tournaments that the likes of Coco Gauff, Roger Federer, the likes of those guys that played Leighton Hewitt, they've played that tournament and they've won it.
Okay.
And this is where it's the biggest stage of what the future promises in tennis, in world tennis.
Okay.
So it will depend on the results, but we're pushing very hard. She's hungry, she wants it. No pressure. But she wants it, so we'll keep chasing, we'll keep working hard. For as long as she wants it, there's nothing that can stop her.
Is mommy happy with the latest development in as far as your sporting journey is concerned?
Yes, the development has been actually going like the tennis has been improving ever since like when I left for Tunisia, the tennis was there, and when I went to Zim, like I had more fire and like the development, I knew I was gonna like push and do better. So yeah, she's happy with the development. Yes.
How is it working with coach, mentor like Robin?
It's actually very good working with him because he's helped with a lot of like technique problems to get there, and like small things on court that you have to do, use a towel, activate, those things that really help in a match.
Okay.
Yes.
Two-folded question here. Beyond schooling, what do you want to do? And where do you see yourself in as far as tennis is concerned later in life? Where do you want to be?
In tennis.
In tennis, yes.
Yes. I would love to see myself as a pro player.
Wow.
Like, and taking the slams, taking my tennis far, as I know. Yes.
It's possible, it's doable. Coco Gauff won her first French Open for the very first time.
Yes.
And she's now the big thing. Everybody is raving, talking about Coco Gauff. And I see a Coco Gauff in you, South Africa, especially with a coach like Robin. So throughout these few months, you guys will be engaged in various activities, obviously.
That's correct, yeah. Yeah, so the program is we're trying to push as hard as we can for that ultimate prize, to get her into a program where she can go on a tour of Europe. I think for me, I would feel that I've achieved a lot if I get her there, and we're pushing for that. She wants it, so we're going to push for that. It's good because if she gets into a platform like that, then sponsors start coming in, funding starts coming in. There's no money that the parents have got to spend to take it to these various places, to Russia, to the UK, to the US, to everywhere to play these various events. So we're aiming for that. But if that doesn't come, there's always an alternative route. There's always an alternative plan to say, okay, how do we take a different plan to get there? There's always that. So that's why I said the program has got to be structured. It's got to be planned ahead. It can't be haphazard, hit and hope type of thing. So that's where we are at the moment. And we will see how the results come out from the next couple of weeks.
And I guess we need to doff our heads to parents of Marokana.
Yeah.
In fact, despite the economic challenges that we're facing in the country, but they're out there, in fact, in make sure that they invest in her for her to realize her dream in as far as sport is concerned. Let's turn attention now to the likes of the French Open, US Open, the Coco Gauff of this world, the seniors of this world. When you do your training, do you sometimes maybe benchmark your training, maybe by watching these visual materials of these players and so forth?
Yeah, look, the coaching is very much an individual thing.
Okay.
It depends on what you believe in terms of programming, what is key in a player's game. I believe in an all-round development of a player. That's the technical, and the mental. So, and the physical, of course. So, yes, I do a lot of research, watch a lot of material in terms of with the programming that's followed for some of these players, especially the recent bursts into the scene of players like Carlos Alcaraz, the training methodologies that are applied. Yes, Moroccan is still young, So we can't do things like weights. Those players are already doing weights and so on. So you also have to understand some of the science behind the development of a human body. So we can't load her with weights and things like that. So we have to be careful. Her joints are still expanding, and there's those type of things. You have to know them.
Wow.
So yes, I have to do a lot of research. I have to benchmark a lot of things alongside what these guys did at the same age, the amount of training, the routines that we employed at the same age as she is now. Yeah.
Did you get the chance of watching the French Open, US Open?
Yes, I did.
You did. And how often do you watch tennis? Maybe so that perhaps you learn certain techniques in as far as the sport is concerned.
Yes, I do. In my free time, I really love watching the pros play tennis and watching like their technique and how they got there, and like researching like all the sacrifices they had made to get to that level, and the training and all those stuff they did to reach there.
So, for you internationally, is it Skinner or Alcaraz?
Yeah, I'll say Alcaraz.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, he's
Is that your camp, Alcaraz?
yeah, he's a more complete player. He's got every stroke in the book. Sinner has got certain areas where his strengths are slightly higher than Alcaraz, but I feel Alcaraz is a more complete player. He's got every to be at the level that he is, to be able to do the things that he can do at only 22 is just simply mind blowing. The kid is phenomenal. It's something special. When we saw Federer, we all went like, wow, this guy is just... But some of the strokes that Federer ended up perfecting, he perfected them at age 27, 28. Alcaraz at 22, he's already
there.
Yeah, he's just something special.
Talking about Roger Federer, apparently he's got roots in South Africa. The mother was born in South Africa, Jenny Federer, and he also was in South Africa to launch a foundation. Which is quite impressive indeed. Yeah. What is the average age of an individual to start playing tennis? At what age can one start playing tennis?
So it is recommended that, so here's the thing about tennis. The sort of scientific guidelines say it takes about 10,000 hours or 10 years to build the technical skill that can allow you to transition into a professional player at that level. So it takes that much. So if you work it back, most people start going into the professional stage at age 15, 16. That's when they sort of, some at 18, 19, depending on the maturity levels. So it is recommended that a child should start playing tennis at the age of 4 or 5, not later than 7, for them to have a chance of playing at a very, very high level. So Murakami, as she said, she's also studied early. She studied very early. I also started around that age. I studied early. But I was not as fortunate as she is. I didn't have the likes of me coaching and mentoring. Yes.
Let's talk about the rackets. Are the rackets standardized, or it's the same, or there's sizes for rackets in terms of this is for adults, this is for kids? Pardon my ignorance as far as that is concerned. I'm asking on behalf of the viewers at home.
Yeah, you'll actually be surprised that you go into a program where people are coaching young kids, and the kid has got in his or her hand a full-size racket.
I've seen that.
Which is a 27 inches. That's how the measurement works. They work on an American system. It's 27 inches, so we call it 27 inches a full-size racket. And the kid is like 5 or 6, and they've got this long thing dangling by their side, looking all clumsy. And it's actually wrong. So you go by ages. A starter kid will be holding in their hand a 19-inch racket. Short thing like this.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, very short. So that the kid can be able to maneuver the racket. That's how the child actually learns the stroke. It's light, it's short, they can maneuver it. Because you do use a lot of different muscles in your arm.
Oh, I see.
In your shoulder, in your wrist, in your forearm, all those muscles must engage. If the racket's too heavy, they are not going to engage. If they engage, they're going to get damaged. So you get injuries, you get all sorts of things that happen by using the wrong equipment. So a child that's yay high must be having a 19-inch racket. The child that's yay high must be having a 21 or 23-inch racket.
I see.
A child that's yay high must be having a 25-inch racket. So it goes with the size of the child. And a child that's a beginner child, you cannot let them hit what we call a yellow ball. That means a proper full-size ball. There is a ball that's called the red dot ball, which is bigger in size so that the child can see it and they can track it, and it's very light. So it only has 25% of the bounce of a normal ball.
Okay.
It's slow, it's light, and it's big. So it helps the child to see the ball, to control the ball, develops the right strokes and all of that. You'll be surprised today if you go out to coaching centers, you still find some of the older coaches, coaching with normal ball. They're coaching a 6-year-old with feeding them normal ball. The science points that that's incorrect. And there's reason to why it's incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the reason?
The reason is the ball is too fast. The ball is heavy.
Okay.
If it's too fast, the child does not have time to learn the timing of the stroke.
Okay.
The ball is too heavy. It's going to cause injuries. So there's reasons. So that's why the bigger, lighter ball. They can see it clearly. It's light. They can control it. It's slow. They have time on the ball to develop the right strokes. That's why Europeans come out looking so good, because they've adopted that mantra right through. They've sold on it. So Alcaraz and the Sinners of this world and so on, they grew up on that system. You start with a red ball. You go to an orange ball, which is slightly smaller and a bit faster. Then you go to what we call a green dot ball, which is also faster than the other two, but still slower than a normal ball. And then after the green dot ball, then you transition to the yellow ball, which is the ball that the pros use, which is the normal ball. So there are stages of development. Even an adult, when an adult starts learning how to play tennis, they come and hold the racket in their hand for the first time. They're not going to start with a normal ball. They have to start with an orange ball, a slower ball, because then they have time to learn how to time the ball, how to stroke the ball. Yeah.
That's the reason why we call people such as yourself to join us on this platform, or for free tutorials such as that one. And I guess even the viewers at home, in fact, will be excited to learn about all those aspects that you've been mentioning. I see, in fact, tennis courts have changed from grass court in other eras to hard, if not concrete surface. You'll correct me on that. I don't know. Which one is preferable?
Look, in modern tennis, we have three surfaces basically. We have the hard court, we have the grass court, and we have the clay court.
Okay.
The main differences is the speed of the ball and the bounce of the ball. On a clay court, the ball bounces, when it takes a bounce, it slows down and bounces a bit higher. On a hard court, it's almost standard. And on the grass court, it bounces slower and it skids much more off the grass. So it's very quick tennis on a grass court. That's the difference of the three surfaces. Grass courts, very high maintenance, so you don't find them a lot. They're not very common. You find them in, I think, Spain. They have a grass court tournament. I believe the US still have one, if I'm not making a mistake. Yes. Germany, they've got two, and then in England they've got two. They've got Queen's and Wimbledon. So the maintenance of grass court is very high. It's still very prestigious. The aura behind playing on a grass court, winning Wimbledon, it's every tennis player's dream, because this is where tennis started. This is you know, this is the holy grail. This is like everything in tennis. So grass court still has that aura, that element, you know, very captivating. And another thing is the equipment, the apparel, shoes, for example. If you go to Wimbledon, they'll tell you we want all white. They've got their own rules.
Okay.
We want all white logo, very small logo in certain areas, and it's got to be a specific size. It cannot be exceed that size, that logo that you're wearing.
Okay.
But you got to be all white. You go to other tournaments, they're not so strict with the colors, but they will be strict with the logos. Logo must be this size and so on. But the shoes, particularly on the 3 different size surfaces, are also different.
Okay.
So you got a shoe for a grass court, because the herringbone, the pattern underneath the shoe, has got a certain grip, and that's the grip that is made for the grass court. So when they design, they scientifically test it and make sure that it will grip on the grass court to give you that leverage to start and stop on the grass court. The same with the clay court. There is a specialized shoe for clay court, and a specialized shoe for a hard court.
I'm told that
and even tennis balls. There are tennis balls that they use specifically for the hard court. There are tennis balls that they use for high and low altitude. There are tennis balls they use specifically for the grass court, and the tennis balls that they use specifically for the clay court.
I'm told that golf equipments as well as cricket equipments are expensive. Is that the same with tennis?
Yes, this is where things start becoming challenging. A person like Murakami, when she goes to a tournament, her rackets must be freshly strung. So she can't go there with a tension that's outside the range. We've been working on a tension to bring it down so that it can boost the power. The less tension there is on the strings, the more power you can deliver from the racket. So since I've started working with her, we've been working on bringing that tension a little bit down so she can have more power in the strokes. But that tension's got to be precise. So if we say it must be, we say 50 kg per square meter, that tension on that racket's got to be 50. It can't be 49 and a half, it can't be 49, it can't be 48, it's got to be 50. So her rackets get restrung when we leave for a tournament. But you can imagine if he's restringing those rackets every 2 weeks or so, to just do a restring with your own strings costs somewhere in the region of about 150 to 200 rand per racket. And she's got 3-4 rackets that must be restrung. Every time she goes out, she comes back. If she goes out, she's playing. Sometimes the string, they snap. It's got to be restrung.
Is that the reason why players sometimes they check on their after a few strokes? They check on the rackets.
So the strings move. So when the strings move, so when you don't get what we call perfect contact. So when the strings move, they will check and they see the strings has moved like that. They're forming a wave. Then they will reset the strings. You'll see them doing this with the racket. They're resetting the strings so that they have perfect contact with the ball. So if you don't reset them and the strings are forming a wave, when you hit the ball, you're gonna produce a very insane shot. People are gonna like, is that a professional hitting a ball like that?
Wow.
Wow.
What about to wrap it up? I would like us to recap. What has been the highlights of your journey with your players thus far?
I recently took 3. So I've been with Murakami on one tour. We've done another tour in Zim. We're going to do another tour now in North Africa. The Zim tour, I took 3 players with me. It was Murakami, it was Paul Bowers. By the way, Murakami and Paul Bowers have won the green and gold.
Wow,
they represented South Africa.
Wow.
Paul at the under 12 and Murakami at the under 14. And they have won gold for South Africa, representing South Africa in the regionals. In Namibia for Murakami, and in Paul in Botswana and in Mozambique. So I took them with me. I work time to time. I do help Paul with a few things from time to time. We're very close friends with his father, Justin Bowers. We have a very close relationship. And I also took Nhlamulo Baloyi, my son, west to Zimbabwe. And these are the 3 players that I went on tour with on the Zimbabwean tour for 2 weeks. And that was August 16th, 17th, and then 2 weeks. Murakami did very well. I think I've already sort of shared her exploits there, winning both titles back to back, and winning the finals winning the doubles and losing the finals in the doubles. Paul, in the second week, he didn't have a very good first week, but in the second week, he got to the quarterfinals of the singles, which was a good feat for him. And Shamulo, in the first week of the tour, he got to the finals of the doubles, which was also a good feat for him. So all three, I think they came back with good results. Maracainis was sterling, but the other two also came back with good results that they can build up on, which were quite inspiring.
Congratulations. Yeah. We're about to leave. Any young person sitting at home who will be watching this episode, what would you like to say to them?
I'd say for anyone who wants to make it big out there, they have to understand like the sacrifices they have to make, and that the journey, you need to work hard, push hard, do what you can to reach the level you want to be at.
Robin, yourself as well, any young person out there, it doesn't have to be tennis, but who would like to get into sport or try something as a parting shot, words of inspiration, what can you say to them?
Yeah, I think that the life of successful people sometimes is shortchanged. It's not actually preached in full. You know, what we tend to see is the final result. Wow, they're living this life. We see them on TV. We see Cristiano Ronaldo driving 10 Ferraris or whatever the case is. And we go, wow. But we don't actually get to understand the journey. Maracainis has put it so well, so perfectly, that there is a journey behind that. There's a journey of sacrifice, a hard work, of sweat, blood, and tears, you know, that comes with that. And if I may refer to Cristiano Ronaldo, not only him, but three other sporting personalities: Lionel Messi, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, Carlos Alcaraz. These people all left home at the age of 13, 14. All of them left home to go and carve their expertise in the sporting field. All of them at the age 13, 14. It's like that age is magical. All of them, 13, 14, all left home to go somewhere 500 kilometers away from home, 1,000 kilometers from home, to go and carve that expertise, to build, to make that sacrifice. So the sacrifice she's talking about, that sacrifice of cutting away from the family, missing your family, missing your brother, missing your sister, missing your mother, your father. That's the journey. You have to understand what you have to put in line to get there. So yes, it's hard work. It's all push. It cannot just fall from the sky, you know. So every young person out there, understand that this requires hard work, requires sacrifice. You've got to invest yourself fully in this, whether it's soccer, whether it's rugby, whether it's... And when you read some stories like Sia Colisis, the space he came from, you know, the background he came from, his younger siblings depending on him, you understand where he came from. But the hunger, the fire, the push he had in him to go past all those challenges and sacrifice and to get to that rugby field and do all the hard work, and it paid off in the end. It's all about that. That is such a key element.
Robin, where are you reachable? Any socials, any contact numbers? Parents would like to get in touch with you, but if you're not comfortable with contact numbers, maybe socials?
Yeah. I haven't put anything out there because at the moment...
Please do. You're doing a sterling work. Please do.
Yeah, I'm trying to sort of... the wall is falling on me. I'm trying to push back and say, I'm protecting Maracainis. The wall mustn't fall on me at the moment. Okay. But yeah, I will definitely get in touch. I will put something together. I'm looking at a platform where I can be reachable. I will share as soon as it's up. I will share that.
Biggie on Sport, a subsidiary of Olive Branch Entertainment. We have always maintained on this platform that this is a platform of unsung heroes, and this is an epitome of an unsung hero: a businessman, a family man, a father who has taken upon himself by taking his time into dedicating his time in making sure that others come out best, putting them on the pedestal. Robin Baloyi, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Baba.
Rokwana, thank you so much for joining us. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
That's how we come to the end of it for today's episode. I hope that you'll enjoy watching this particular episode and learn more about the technicality as well as the aspect of tennis as a sport. I would like to urge you and ask you at home to please share, like, but above all, subscribe to our social pages on YouTube, which is Biggie on Sport. Thank you so much to the technical staff at Arise Studios, my colleagues behind the scenes, executive producers Jimmy Mashazi, as well as Kabelo, not forgetting the content producer Kuma, wherever she is in her absentia. Thank you so much. Let's do it again and once again. Sharp, sharp.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Robin Baloyi, coach and mentor to Baloyi Molao, also known as Thabang.
Hello, I'm Baloyi Molao. I'm a tennis player.
You can catch Biggie on Sport on YouTube.